From ABC News, Newsom says California to draw congressional map to end Trump presidency. I believe that's probably hyperbole, but we'll go ahead and talk about it. California Governor Gavin Newsom said California will move forward with drawing new congressional maps that he said will end the Trump presidency and allow Democrats to take control of the U.S. House of Representatives. Donald Taco Trump, as many call him, missed the deadline. California will now draw new, more beautiful maps. They will be historic as they will end the Trump presidency. Dems take back the House, Newsom wrote Tuesday night in a post written in the style of President Donald Trump's occasionally all-cap social media posts. The announcement comes amid Texas Republicans' effort to redraw congressional maps in their party's favor. The redistricting showdown in Texas has led blue states to threaten to retaliate, with Newsom proposing to cut 5 GOP-held seats in California. The redistricting battle in Texas, it's hilarious, isn't it?
It's like, yes, the big threat of all of the Republican seats in the state of California.
That's something
treasure trove.
Yeah.
That's what we've been kind of talking about and making jokes about around the table. How are they going to squeeze more Democrat seats out of, largely Democrat states, right? Like, I think there's at least 5 that are all Democrats, right? No Republican representation in Congress at all. Yeah. Massachusetts, Maryland, Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut. So, I mean, at least 5. There's probably more.
There was a big one recently that we were actually talking about, right? Which state was that had the... It was like just last week.
I don't know exactly. Yeah. I know that there's, look, all these states have Republicans in them. So the Republicans that are in these states have literally no representation in Congress. And Democrats are like, well, we're going to get more. I don't see how they can do it. What do you think, Adam?
Honestly, I'm a California 5th generation resident, and it pisses me off because if they can't win, they cheat. And here is the legal way to cheat. I actually ran for Congress in 2014 against now mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass. And quick brag, scored higher than any Republican has scored since the 1964 election.
Very nice.
Still the title holder in from 2014 to the present. But I ran for Congress because they redistricted my neighborhood at the time, which was the southern part of Beverly Hills, and they redistricted it into Compton. Because the Orthodox Jews are very conservative. So they go by street. They're very meticulous about how they do these gerrymanderings, and it's just the erosion of democracy, and he thinks it's going to help him win a presidential election in 2028.
Yeah, that's my sense too, is this whole thing here with Gavin Newsom chiming in, this is really just about Gavin Newsom just, figuring out if it's a good idea for him to run for president. I mean,
and remember, it's only gerrymandering when Republicans do it. When
exactly.
Democrats do it, it's redistricting.
I like how he's copying his sworn enemy's communication style. It's a really weird tactic to glaze your enemy.
Why does he call him Donald Taco Trump, though? What is the taco?
Taco stands for Trump always chickens out.
I
mean, the thing is, they were calling him Taco before the strikes on Iran. And I feel like the strikes on Iran really kind of put that to bed. Uh-huh. Whereas, I mean, it's not going to stop the Democrats from using whatever, rhetorical method they can to insult Trump. But I do think that the point was, Trump will always bail out of the tariff stuff, right? That was what really started it. But then once the strikes on Iran happened, it's like, well, it kind of doesn't really stick anymore. The idea that Trump doesn't have the courage of his convictions is kind of has been put to bed.
Yeah, but they're saying that he's an authoritarian, but he's an authoritarian that doesn't follow through.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, the Democrats are not known for their consistent messaging lately.
Or their honesty.
Well, clearly. But I mean, that's kind of the situation with the Democrats.
All their marketing, their anti-Trump marketing just feels so like they were sitting around at a table at a marketing agency in New York, and they were like, guys, taco, the middle America's going to love this. Let's pitch it. Let's get celebrities to say it. It'll be great.
Do you think that they design their messaging for their base, and that's why it kind of doesn't resonate with the rest of America?
They try to do this thing every once in a while where they realize that they have to win like middle America, like especially like Wisconsin, which,
The flyover
and it occurs to them like this, and so they come out with these really weird marketing campaigns where they'll get like a cowboy to come out and be like, you know what, that boy better use that whatever bathroom he wants.
That's
I'll tell
what-
you
No,
what.
it was the commercial during the election of the guy, the improbably sitting guy
White
on the
men
bed
for
of the
Kamala
truck who
Harris.
never sat on a truck in his entire life.
like-
And then they're like, you know what we should do? We should show Tim Walz trying to fix this.
But it actually worked. I mean, they did white men for Kamala Harris, and you got guys like Richard Spencer and Nick Fuentes saying, "Hey, that's not so bad. I can get behind that."
It is funny because Richard Spencer did vote for her. I don't think that
He
Nick
did.
Fuentes did, but Richard
No, they
Spencer-
both did. Fuentes was saying he was going to go campaign for her in
I
Chicago.
thought that was
and-
just a temper tantrum because Nick Fuentes, he doesn't get the reaction that he wants, and so he just kind of gets on his channel on what's Cozy TV and just rants to his hundreds of thousands of followers.
The bottom line, though, is it actually worked. And, like when we talk about like Taco or whatever, I mean, like they straight up fell for it. I mean, like you had like this rugged looking white man who's like, yeah, I'm here and I love Kamala Harris and what she's doing for inner city whites. And they're like, oh, wow.
Well, it was the ad. It was the ad during the election of like the dads at the voting booth who are
Exactly.
like they're like winking at each other. Like the wives are winking at each other, and they have the dad who's like, you know who you're voting
Oh,
for.
yeah,
right?
that was
And
ridiculous.
they're basically saying like lie to your husband about who you're voting for.
Yeah.
And then after that, like crap, things aren't working. We have to figure it out. And now they're investing $20 million to figure how to win back the white men.
All of the stuff that was leading up to the election, all of the marketing that the Democrats were doing leading up to the election really kind of was just be dishonest, be a bad person, lie to your spouse. It was just all of the most repulsive things that you could come up with, and they were like, this is how you should vote, or this is what you should do. And any normal thinking person is like, this doesn't make any sense to like anyone that has any sense of morality. It was just garbage that they wanted. They're like, just behave terribly, lie to your spouse, lie to your family. It doesn't matter. We just do whatever you can do to get, to vote Democrat. And it was really just bad.
So is the argument here, it's hyperbole, obviously, but if they're saying end Trump's presidency, they just mean like lose the House so that they don't have any power going into the second half of his...
Yeah.
I think what's being implied is that the Democrats take the House, then they can impeach Trump, because that has been the stated goal.
Third.
I mean, everybody knows
they think
that
third time's a charm.
Right?
everybody knows that like he should be treating his presidency as if he's only got 2 years anyways, because they have to operate under the premise that they're likely going to lose the House.
Well, even then, like, I mean, the House hasn't been particularly useful. I mean, the big, beautiful bill is great, but beyond that, everything's been done through executive order or other mechanisms the executive has.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not, if we lose the House, I mean, it's going to be tough, but it's not necessarily the end of the world. There's still a lot of mechanisms at Trump's disposal.
I think you're totally right about the functional presidency. I think that he'll still do essentially the same things that he's been doing, use the office of the executive to put as many of his policies in place as he can. It's just going to be more garbage from
It's going to be lawfare.
That is not popular with the American people.
Well, it's not so much the risk isn't so much not having the Republicans there. The risk is having the Democrats there, because the Democrats are going to try and gum up the system as much as possible. The Republicans are just warming up the House for you. I mean, the big, beautiful bill was a big deal. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's not like, we're just passing legislation left and right now.
What happened with the decision to redo the census? Did that end up going through? Or are they redoing the census to get illegal immigrants off of the census data?
It'll take a while to get that going.
Is the idea of this supposed to be some type of retaliation to that?
This is retaliation.
It'll hurt California?
No, this is retaliation with Texas redistricting, where Texas.
I don't even think it's a retaliation. I think that this is like par for the course. They already had it planned, and the Texas thing gave them an excuse to frame it in a way to make Gavin look like some stud. But, I'm from California. I'll tell you, he is hated. And especially in liberal places like the Pacific Palisades, where the average house was like $5 million and now doesn't exist anymore, where homelessness is out of control. it's actually kind of crazy that he thinks that this is going to go over well with the voters who are already so disillusioned by everything that he's done.
And they're supposed to be putting low-income housing in the Palisades too now, which is, of course, people said was a conspiracy theory, but obviously they were going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the rumor that I've heard.
They also want it for the Olympics. Olympics are coming 2028, and they want the Palisades to be like the Olympic Village. So
that's just putting me into conspiracy hyperdrive about it.
let's go.
Section 8 Olympic house.
Section 8 Olympic housing.
Birth rate wasn't high enough.
Yeah, you'd think that would really do serious damage.
You think it'd make him a lame duck?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know about a lame duck, but I mean, you'd think that there'd be a lot of people that would be like, hey, this was warned about before, like right when the fires, with Newsom, like all the fires and stuff.
Democrats love this.
But
this goes over really well with the Democrat base.
I think the base does, but don't you think that this actually is going to have a negative opinion or negative effect on Newsom's popularity? He's already gotten a lot of crap from your average Californian.
What are they going to do? Vote for Republican? I mean, like,
Actually, possibly. I mean, don't put it past California. They elected Arnold Schwarzenegger as governor. They elected Ronald Reagan as governor. What? We're on like every 20 years we get a Republican governor. Okay. So we're about due, you know?
It's just like the problem is like the demographics since 2000 just completely changed. I mean, the electorate now, it's it's tough to find someone that's been in the country for more than like a generation or two compared to 2000. I mean,
should I run, guys? Should I run for governor?
Also, Arnold came out recently and was talking about illegal immigration and said that it was damaging to the country.
On The View.
On The View, of all places, right? So
when it comes to the thick accent, it hits different.
Yeah.
Anti-immigration.
Wow, he's a real immigrant.
Yeah.
We have to listen to him.
Well, you know, I'm not going to argue with somebody that successful.
I mean, it is true that Newsom does have to spend a bit of political capital here because it will require a special election to redistrict in a way that's especially favorable.
And where's he getting it from? Look at his losses. COVID, he had everybody on lockdown while he's on French Tuesdays. You had like unbelievable unemployment, homeless out of control. I'll tell you, I don't even go into the city anymore. I left after COVID because it's like you live in Beverly Hills. 2 times the year before I left, I opened my front door to a homeless man crashed on my front door. I was like, it's time to get out.
You in a house or was it an apartment?
It was a townhome.
Okay.
2-story townhome.
Yeah.
Everyone has had that experience. So over time, like this builds on the conscience. You go to liberal Pacific Palisades and you ask people, what do you think of the situation? They hate this guy. They have been awakened and they want justice and revenge, and don't put it past a rich person to vote for Donald Trump or a Republican or anybody to get even, or especially after they've lost their house and the insurance won't cover it and it's a mess.
That's one of the things that I'm thinking of is they were promising that there was going to be permits right away. There was going to be a lot of effort put in to make sure that Pacific Palisades can rebuild, et cetera, et cetera. And that did not pan out at all.
You know the worst thing about this, Phil, is that now, because some people still have their mortgages and all sorts of things going on, a lot of these people have sold to foreign companies,
which is exactly what
Chinese
they were afraid
of. That's what the conspiratorial mind says that they actually wanted. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden, the greatest properties in Los Angeles are being guzzled up for top dollar, and nobody can compete, and nobody can build their house back. And the Coastal Commission in Pacific Palisades, they're going to expedite these Chinese new properties when they didn't allow anybody to build for like the last 30 years, and it's just a mess.
It's weird too because it's like, okay, so theoretically you're saying like they're sick of Newsom, they want to get rid of him. I know you're talking specifically the Palisades, but it's like they had the option in LA the other year. They could have at least had a slightly more pro-business Dem with like Rick Caruso, but they went Karen Bass anyways.
I'll tell you the story on Rick Caruso. He threw the election on purpose.
Oh.
Rick Caruso got tons of housing contracts. He's like the golden boy. He didn't grow up on gold. He grew up on titanium. That guy is so freaking rich. And all the new affordable housing, it was a deal. Let's show some competition. The place where Democrats cheat the most is in Democrat-controlled states. That's when they're adding on massive amounts of votes to the popular vote to try to make the illusion that Hillary Clinton got 3 more million votes than Trump. But the real issue that nobody wants to talk about is that Rick Caruso, he never wanted to be mayor of LA. That was a ploy. They're going to get these two people to go head to head, and he bailed so quickly. As within a couple hours of election night, he tossed his candidacy because he got all these crazy contracts, and now him and Karen Bass together are showing a unified front where the billionaire makes buco billions off of all the government Section 8 housing, and Karen gets to be mayor. Yeah. That's who I ran against actually in 2014 was Karen Bass when she was congresswoman from District 37.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.